SuperBowlPredictions.com.
Super Bowl time, the most magical time of the year. We have Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champions, trying to go back to back like Drake did, versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Tom is trying to get his seventh ring. Um, this is about to be magical, man. I think it's gonna be high scoring, but first and foremost, we gotta start with our keys of the game. Elijah, what do Tampa Bay have to do to win this game against Kansas City?
Um, uh, that's tough. We all know that, but I think their best bet is to pressure Pat Mahomes. I think it's a no-brainer. You have to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. You have to make him at least second guess himself in the pocket. And again, it's hard to do. That dude is so skilled. He's so talented. He's so poised. If they are able to rattle him, they give themselves a great chance to win the game. And we saw the way that D line was able to rev it up against the Packers. So I really think if they can dial up the right pressures, they can put themselves in a better position to win.
Okay, now stand on you, Elijah. Give me one player on Tampa Bay that it can be offense or defense that must show out this game.
I'm gonna give offense and defense. I think offense is
Okay.
a no-brainer. Tom Brady has to be that guy. Um, I think he will. I think it's going to be a shootout. So I think he's going to play very well, um, especially down the stretch. And on defense, though, I think the guy who has been the wild card all season. It's really two of them, but I'm gonna say this guy a little more. Jason Pierre-Paul. He's got to be special. He's
Definitely.
got to be special. You know, the other guy, Shaq Barrett. Them two, what they were doing in Green Bay, I'm like, every time those guys play like that, typically they win or they come close. You know what I'm saying? Those guys have to be special.
Definitely. Before we go on to the next person, I'm gonna give mine. Um, I think the key for Tampa Bay is you have to be balanced on defense. You can't. I get what you were saying, Elijah. You gotta rattle them, but you also gotta watch out because they got weapons everywhere. I was liking what the Browns was doing in the back of the second half. I mean, the back of the first half when they were, sending blitzes, but then they would hold back sometimes. But you gotta find a way to balance. I don't know how, but you gotta find a way. And my player, that I think is gonna show out this game is Mr. Droppable. I think Mike Evans shows up this time. I think he gets his. I think Mike Evans is the difference maker, what makes or breaks this game because you can look at Chris Godwin, you can look at Scotty Miller, you can look at these other receivers, you can even look at Gronk. I mean, they got weapons everywhere, but what they have on mismatch is size. They got one of the biggest and one of the most versatile wide receivers in the game right now. He just drops the ball. That's the only problem I have with Mike Evans is he drops the ball. I think he's the difference maker. Frankie, what's your keys to the game first?
Uh, Protect Patrick Mahomes would be probably a big one since he doesn't have his starting left and right tackle.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Um,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
We're talking
whoa.
about the Bucks
Tampa
first.
Bay, man.
oh, whoa, we talking about what?
Tampa
The
Bay.
Bucks?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, if we're doing Tampa, then I mean, you got to execute. You got to keep up with Mahomes because we know the Chiefs can score. You can definitely have to execute on offense. That'd probably be one key. Defense, you got to somehow again slow down Patrick Mahomes, which good luck because no one's figured out other than the Browns, and that's to keep him a concussion. And even then we lost to fucking Chad Henne. And we'll talk about that ever again, hopefully. Um, their secondary is gonna be have to play really good because
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's a problem. Mecole Hardman, dude, there's just so much speed. Winfield's a good safety, but he's got a lot of dudes to keep up with. I don't know, man. That's the two main ones is definitely the offense needs to click. You need to be balanced on offense, I would say. I think you said that. You said on defense, but I think on offense, they need to run the ball too. Because if they don't run the ball and they get behind stuck there on the ball, it could be a long game. It could be a bad Super Bowl. There's multiple things I would say, but those three would probably cover it.
Okay, now who's
I add
your?
something to that.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
One other key though, when you playing a team like Kansas City, you have to play mistake free.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It has to be mistake free. You can't. The little mistakes are the ones that kill you in the long run when you're playing quarterbacks like Mahomes. And I think Brady, of course, knows that. Brady's been around the block a bunch of times. He knows the way this team has to look for them to win this game, and I think that's the advantage that Tampa Bay has.
and adding off to what you said too is you got to talk to these running backs because I mean they've been having a couple of games without it, but this whole season they've been fumbling the ball. And it's been a cruncher. Like you said, you can't make no mistake. You can't give Patrick Mahomes an extra possession because
Right.
this can go from a one-score game to easily a 21-point game with a couple of, mistakes. So I like that you said that. Good point out. Sean?
All right. I got
Wait,
three keys.
wait. Frankie, my bad. Frankie, who's your player? Who has to turn up for Tampa Bay?
Elijah kind of took it, but I was gonna say Shaq Barrett. I mean, he said Jason Pierre-Paul or Shaq Barrett, but mine's definitely gonna be Shaq Barrett. I mean, dude's arguably one of the best pass rushers in the game, and I have facts to prove that, by the way. But no, for real, like he Kansas City, and this is no shock to anybody. They don't have their tackles. Whoever their backups are is gonna be in for a long day. Shaq Barrett can get to the quarterback. He can knock you on your ass. He can pull rush. He can speed rush. It don't matter.
Wait, I thought they only didn't have one tackle, which is Eric Fisher. And then their center is in protocol, but can he play? Oh, he did.
Schwartz is out.
Schwartz is out.
Schwartz is out too? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought just Fisher was. My bad.
No, Schwartz is out. And then Kilgore is got to be negative for 5 days, which him and Demarcus Robinson, I think, might be. I don't know. But yeah, it's got to be Shaq Barrett. He's got to come out, disrupt anything, and whatever you can do to get to Mahomes somehow. But Mahomes is so athletically gifted too; it's crazy. He's like the most ultimate quarterback that you don't want to go against.
And I got one more. I got a defensive player nobody's talking about that me and Frank was discussing earlier today. Devin White, linebacker.
If y'all let me go, I would have discussed it.
He has to contain. He has to contain Kelsey. Him and Winfield gonna have to do something because Kelsey, you can't let that man.
If Winfield is coming down on Kelsey, it's a wrap. Tyreek Hill, cheetah going off. If Winfield is coming down on Kelsey, cheetah going off. Just take that back right now, Trey, because that don't even make sense.
Yeah, you leave the linebackers. You leave the linebacker to try and guard that man because you want over the top help on that man. Because if not, you're just gonna see 1-on-1. You can see Tyreek have 200 yards again in the first quarter.
It's gonna be that Monday night game on them.
It's pretty much pick your poison. Do you want to give it to Kelsey or do you want to give it to Hill or do you want to give it to whoever the fuck is the second receiver? But Sean, I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead, Sean. I'm gonna let you go. What's your key to the game first?
I got three keys. 3 keys for the Bucks. I got 3 keys. One,
you wrote them down.
You got to somehow slow that Chiefs offense down. I don't know how. I don't agree with Elijah blitzing them because we all know what Patrick Mahomes does against the blitz. He's the best in the NFL against the blitz. You blitz him, it's going to Kelsey all day underneath because you got to send the linebacker on the blitz. Kelsey going to be wide open. Can't do that. Me and DeAndre always argue. I feel like the Chiefs, the games they lose, they actually beat themselves. They beat themselves. Like that Raiders game, they beat themselves, Dre. They turned over the ball. They turned over the ball and did not execute. You got too many weapons. They beat themselves. Okay, that was key number one. Key number two, defense has to play like it has the last 4 games, but you got to play like that without blitzing. Without blitzing. Do not blitz Mahomes. And key number 3, offense has to put up points. It's got to put up points. Your offense got to put up points. And for my offensive player of the game, I'm gonna agree with Dre here. It has to be somebody with size. I don't care if it's Mike Evans or Gronk, preferably Evans, because their CBs are kind of small and Evans is huge. But it has to be someone with size. So one of those two. Those are my keys. We're good.
You can blitz Mahomes. I disagree with that. You can blitz Mahomes. You can.
If
blitz
you don't sack them,
their line is depleted. Their line is depleted. You gotta
get them.
You can blitz. You just have to lock down on the back end.
You gotta get them.
You
can blitz, but you gotta get them.
You got to lock in on the back end. At the end of the day, somebody got to be willing to take the challenge. That's what football is about. I'm not about to be scared to blitz somebody because he could tear. No, you got to man up.
You got to get back there though fast.
You got to hit them. You can blitz, but you got to hit them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. I'm not saying blitz them every play, but every once in a while you got to dial up the pressure. You got to give them different looks.
True.
That's how shit start hitting home.
Oh, I'm gonna add something to that.
You gotta make that line work.
This is why it's hard to blitz, even if their line is depleted. On all blitzes, no matter what team they were playing, on all blitzes, even if it was an incomplete pass, they have 3 goddamn players, no matter who's in the game. 3 goddamn players open. 3 of them. So go ahead, blitz. You got to hit them. You can blitz, but it can't be no. So we gonna send 6, 7 guys and not hit you. You got to hit them. The ball cannot come out.
All you need is one extra person. You just got to send guys from different angles.
But
like I said, the key, you want to make that line work. You have to make it work. You have to keep them, discombobulated up front. And then that pressure on the edge will start hitting home because they don't know what's coming.
I totally agree. You're right that you can't be afraid to not blitz this man. You have to show him pressure. But y'all have seen what Mahomes can do regardless. He can get out of the pocket. He can break the tackles. He's got the breaking sack ability of Roethlisberger with the speed of, not Lamar Jackson, but he's got better speed than what people give him credit for. And he can throw left fucking handed, and throw right handed, and throw it underhanded. It don't matter. The dude can throw it behind his back if he wanted to. He's going to make the play. I totally agree that you have to get in his face, though. You have to make him uncomfortable in the pocket. Because if you don't, he's going to sit back there and pick you apart underneath, over top. It don't matter. That's why I think the DMs are such. If you can get pressure with 4, that's amazing. Because you still remember you got Ndamukong Suh in the middle of that line too. Dude's not too far off from being arguably one of the best defensive players in the game not too long ago. So, I mean, I totally. But like I said, it's going to be tough because Mahomes is a special player. The dude is one of a kind. You'll never see another dude like him for another 10 years. Mark my words.
I'll add something to that. Y'all keep saying pressure, okay? Pressure. I'm not saying you can't blitz him, but when you blitz, you have to get him. And by that, I mean you got to hit him or you got to sack him. The ball cannot come out. If it comes out, somebody is open and they either catching the ball or dropping it. That's what I'm trying to say. You could pressure, but you have to get there.
But that's the idea of the blitz.
You got to get there, though. A lot of teams that blitz, got in the backfield, gave up touchdowns, like the Bills. They blitz, but they ain't hit them. They ain't sack them.
Right.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you blitz. You got to get there. I'm banking on them getting there. It's going to be tough. I mean, Mahomes is crazy. We're not going to act like Mahomes is not nice. This is just, you have to get there. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with that. You got to hit home. Or it's curtains. But you got to try. You got to do something.
I like that one. All right, now going to the other side of the ball. We're going to go with Mr. My Stats All on 99. We're going to go to the Chiefs side of the ball. What's the keys for the Chiefs, Elijah?
Be the Chiefs. Just be the Chiefs, bro. Y'all don't have a reason to switch nothing up. Y'all don't have a reason to try to overcompensate or do extra things. Just keep Mahomes protected, keep him standing up, keep him on his feet. And he's going to pretty much do the rest. Defensively, I think the Chiefs' defense has a much better chance of rattling Tom Brady than Tampa Bay's defense has of rattling Mahomes. And that will also be a key. That defense, they run, they swarm. They're like an upgraded version of Tampa Bay's defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's because they have a better secondary, in my opinion. I think Honey Badger's going to be flying around. He's going to be all over the field, switching up looks, trying to bait Brady in. And that defense has to be really, really, really good. And I think they will be really, really, really good because they've been pretty damn good during the playoffs.
Okay, now who's your key player of the game?
Honey Badger, for sure.
Hmm.
He's got to command that defense. He's got to hold down that back end. When they bring him in the box, he's got to be physical. All of the things that he's been doing that have propelled him to a point where we can look at him and say he's probably the best safety in the league. He's been that for probably the last 2-3 years. But, yeah, he just got to be all-time special, all-time great. And I honestly believe because of the type of player he is, he will be.
Okay. I think that the key of the game is play bend don't break. Do the Chiefs that you can give up three every fucking possession. Your offense gonna score more than 3 points, you know. So play bend don't break. Don't give up the deep ball because you know Brady's just as, I'm not gonna say just, but he's deadly with the football.
Yeah, Brady for sure, especially in big games.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just as deadly, man. He definitely steps up, and like Elijah said, big games. That's a man you don't want to see across the way from you.
Definitely. Just play bend don't break. The offense is going to generate. We all know that offense can't be fucking stopped. You can contain them for probably like Houston 2 years ago or a year ago. You could probably contain them for about a half, and then they gonna fucking go off on your ass at the end of that damn half. So you gotta.
Or the Raiders. The Raiders are good at containing them. Both games this year they were good, even though they lost one of them. They were good.
Yep. And then my players of the game is both gonna come off on offense for the Chiefs. I think that number two, whoever it is, whether it's Sammy Watkins, whether it's anybody else, that number two receiver is going to have a pretty big game, especially with Tyrann Mathieu probably give, Hill or Kelsey an extra look. So that number two receiver is going to have a pretty good game. And then I think whether it's Clyde or whatever back it is, they're going to have a big game. Or an okay game, because you got to have balance against that Tampa Bay defense. Frankie?
Okay. Protecting Mahomes would be a key. But I think like an important one to me, and I think people aren't talking about it, to get physical with the receivers for Tampa. I think if you get them out of their fucking comfort zone, especially Mike Evans. Mike Evans has shown he could get soft real quick. Don't believe me? Ask Marshawn Lattimore. He shut him out 3 times. I'm just saying. And that's embarrassing because Marshawn Lattimore, he's a good corner. He's a great corner, actually. But Mike Evans is 6'5". He should be able to body that man like he ain't even there.
That's because he's St. Clair legend.
I honestly think it's up here. I think it's the trash talk. Like when he's going up against, the CBs, it's the favorite rivalry. CBs against wide receivers and the trash talk. It's got to be up here because Mike Evans don't be abusing. So it's got to be up here. Got to.
And
that's a good point.
I really do think if you get physical with them, though, they'll be shook. And Brady has shown that if you blitz him, look at the game against the Packers. He threw 3 picks because Packers brought heat. And I said in our chat, I said, yo, if you get in his face, he's going to panic throw a fucking ball. And he sure as did. He did it 3 times. Alexander had back-to-back picks, didn't he? Yep. I mean, dude, I think if you shake Brady up a little bit, the Chiefs are going to roll in this game. And that's not hard because they got great DNs. They got Chris Jones, Frank Clark. They've got good linebackers. And like I said, like you guys said, Tyrann Mathieu, he might be, when you said he might be the best safety in the game, I had to really think about it. There ain't many people I could even think of off the top of my head that is better than him, honestly. He's definitely the guy. He's the game changer. He's the guy. He reminds me of like an Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu type player where he just goes all over the field making plays, bro.
Yeah.
And I really think getting physical, getting just like you said, the Chiefs being the Chiefs, but this defense is so good that people don't even talk about it because the offense is so much better. That would probably be like my biggest key. Just be physical, really get in their face. Like Sean said, trash talking in Mike Evans apparently isn't hard because I've never seen a man who's 6'5" and can't catch a ball. Well, Dre says it all the time, but not like that.
Okay, now who's your he has the ball out this game?
I would say I'm gonna say it's a defensive guy actually. I'm gonna go with Chris Jones. I love Chris Jones. I think he's gonna get in there and really fucking get in Brady's business. That'd be the way that they dominate this game. I really do. I like Chris Jones. Him or Frank Clark. You can't go wrong with either one.
Yep.
Both them dudes are really underrated.
Okay. Sean, keys of the game and your player.
First, I forgot my defensive player for the Bucks is Devin White. You got to slow Kelsey, like DeAndre was saying, because if you don't do that, it's curtains, as Elijah said. My keys.
Real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, real quick. DeAndre, who told you about Devin White earlier? I'm just curious.
No, I said Devin White.
Bullshit. Okay.
Said Winfield.
All right, he's gonna lie. All right, no. Hold on, he's gonna lie now because I said Devin White earlier. He's like, oh, he trash, as he's walking out the door. But anyways, go ahead. He's just gonna lie about it.
All right, so my keys are, as what Patrick Mahomes already said in the media, because he already knows, we just have to be ourselves. There's one thing I like about this team. Last year, all those games they were down, what they come over to the sideline and say, whether it's Patrick Mahomes or whoever else, come over to a player that made the mistake, just be ourselves. We're going to make it up. Just be yourselves. Another key, Andy Reid, the enemy, y'all got to stay aggressive. I don't care whether it's through all passing or through the run game. Stay aggressive. Do not play in the Tampa Bay strengths. They want to play slow, get to kind of figure you out. Play so fast, run a clinic. You got the Legion of Zoom, no matter who's there. You got Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins if his cap is okay. Even if that, you got DeMarcus Robinson. You got the Legion of Zoom there. You got Clyde coming out the backfield. You got Kelsey underneath. He's physical, and he's kind of fast for a tight end. I mean, he ain't slow. So use it to your advantage, whether it's through passing, running, some type of motion. Use everything to your advantage because you do not want to get in a battle with Tom Brady. I understand you got a good quarterback, but I do not want to get in a point battle with Tom Brady. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to take my chances. He got better chances there. 3, get a running back going. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if it's in the passing or running game. That second game, I think it was the second game against the Raiders, Patrick Mahomes only had 1 passing touchdown, but Clyde was going off on the ground. So if you can get someone going either on the ground or out of the backfield on passes, that's going to take a lot of the weight off of whatever style or scheme you're trying to run against Tampa Bay, because then you literally cannot be stopped at that point. If you have the backfield going, plus Patrick Mahomes and all those other cats, the Legion of Zoom, and the physical presence of Travis Kelce, it all cannot be stopped. And the defense, like DeAndre said, you can bend but don't break. I mean, no one counts the Chiefs' defense as really good. I mean, some of us do, but stats don't really count them as really good. But they bend, but they don't break. They don't give up too many big plays for touchdowns. If they give up big plays, they sometimes make you settle for a field goal, but not really touchdowns. I think the breakout player, I like Frankie's D-line picks, but I'm going to go with the safe bet and just put on the Honey Badger because, he's just that man. And on offense, I'm not saying he has to go off, but my key player is going to be Tyreek Hill. He's going to outrun triple coverage because Scotty Miller was out there talking trash, saying he's the fastest. Well, I want to see line up and race because we all know who the fastest is. We all got the Sports Center speed tracker. You don't run faster than Tyreek Hill. Chill out. You're going to start a war. You don't want that Monday night game where he's outrunning Rams triple coverage, even though they didn't win. He outran Rams triple coverage. We all seen it. That's
Against
going to be
one of the best corners in the game. One of the fastest corners in the game, too.
He outran triple coverage. Y'all acting like he ain't fast. He's fast. Scotty Miller started a war. I think Tyreek Hill is going to do it.
I swear, I think he run a 4.1. I swear, if he
I don't care what it is. All I know is he's fast, and Mecole Hardman is fast too. Sammy Watkins, he got some speed. These guys, I call them the Legion of Zoom. Those are my keys.
I call them Rotting Rams. Shit. All right, now we're gonna get into the best part of this show. We're gonna get into predictions. I'm gonna go first, because I'm the host and I want to hear y'all thoughts. That counts most. I'm gonna go 35-31. I think it's gonna come down to the last drive, and I think he's gonna show why he is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. He's going to get his 7 rings. And I'm going to go 35-31 Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is going to have the MVP. And like I said, if they get that running, like me and Sean said, they get that running game going and that second receiver show out, it's over. But I'm going to go 35-31 Kansas City. Second ring of 7 for Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Elijah?
Hold on. What? I like where you went with that, but you can't act like you had everyone fooled that you was about to pick Brady. And then you just switched it to the Chiefs. I know y'all see what Dre did there.
I know. That's why when he started saying that shit, I said, I already know you picking Mahomes.
He had me
so why are you fucking being a bitch like that? Dre out here want to put his little swerve on everything. That's all. He trying to fucking give me the Michael Jordan crossover in the paint or some shit.
Mr. Elijah, who you got?
It's tough. Brady's a guy I never like to bet against. So I'm gonna say I would not be surprised if Tampa wins this game, if Brady pulls off that magic. But I'm going with the safe bet, the obvious choice, and I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I just gotta see somebody beat him to believe it, and I mean beat him in a big game.
Do you have any type of score you think or no?
I believe it's gonna be a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those like 45-41. It might be a little less than that. I'm probably exaggerating. Maybe more like 35-31, more like that. But it's still going to be a great game. I'm excited as a fan of football to see it. It's going to be a shootout, and I don't have any picks with either one. So whoever wins, congratulations to them. But I'm just ready to see what happens.
Yep, and you went with the same exact score as me.
I ain't even noticed that. I don't listen when you talk.
Oh, okay. We going with the big guns out.
Man, I feel that too.
Who won the picks this whole year? Me. Frankie.
I'm just gonna tell Dre straight up, bro. Tom Brady getting number 7. It's that simple. It's gonna be the look. They're winning. And they're gonna find a way. It's Tom Brady. The pass rush, the refs. I don't care. They're gonna get their 7th ring, bro. It's gonna be something like that.
The refs. He said the refs.
That's his best player, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, he's trying to high five them and shit. I don't know, man. He just trolling people at this point in his age. He don't give a fuck. He out here like, oh, what's up? No. The Bucks do win. I think Brady wins the big game. They find a way to beat him, maybe slow him down. I'm going to say 28-24. Everyone wants it to be a shootout, but I don't think it's going to be. Not a high-scoring shootout, at least. But I think it's going to be a good physical game.
Okay. Sean.
All right. I'm gonna give my score prediction first, but this is pending on if the Chiefs are gonna be aggressive. I don't believe in playing slow to Tampa's strengths. I'm gonna give my score if they're aggressive, like I said, pending that 48-21 Chiefs. Along with Elijah, I will not be mad if the Bucks do win, but I kind of have to see someone be able to beat the Chiefs in big games, pending a pre-snap penalty in a bogus roughing the passer call, which is what they had in that AFC Championship game 2 years ago. That's the only big game they lost, even when they was down. The only big game they lost. So, yeah, I have to see it to believe it. I would not be mad if they did win. But yeah, that's my prediction. You already knows. How about those Chiefs?
Hey, before we get out of here though, it's actually a real bet. You guys can go check. Heads or tails? I'm gonna go heads. Elijah?
Dude,
What?
I think this is a play.
Wait, what?
It's one of the bets for this Super Bowl. The coin toss. Is it heads or tails?
Oh,
Somebody bet $1,000 on tails, but I'm gonna go heads.
Oh, you got that stupid money. I mean, you could bet on, whatever the fuck you want.
That shit is so dumb. Who thinks of shit like? Okay,
Dude,
that's
white
for
people.
real. A
I'm
money
gonna go
bet.
tails because Dre went head.
That's a money bet for real. You be
Swear to
serious?
God. I swear to God.
Dang.
Me
Go
and
look it up.
But
That's
people
crazy.
just got dumb money, be betting on stupid stuff and never get your money back.
man, listen, I'm like, because when AP Mike was telling me about it, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he went
told me
to it.
that
I'm like,
too.
are you serious? Somebody really put that money on fucking tails?
Dude, they
Somebody
did that
really
this year.
put this bet?
I'm going
Dude,
tails because of the saying, tails never fails.
it's gonna fail. I'm going heads with
Hey,
Dre.
I
I think
ain't
I'm
bet
gonna.
nobody, so I don't care. I'm just saying, I'm just going tails. Tails never fails.
Hey, real quick, when there was no like sports being played earlier this year, because obviously because of COVID and shit, or last year, they were sport betting simulation games.
Yeah, on
That's how
2K and
desperate they were
Madden and
getting.
stuff. Mainly on 2K.
MLB, 2K, Madden, fucking FIFA, bro. People were sports simulating and betting on it. What kind of fucking life do you have that you're betting on a fucking game?
People make too
Listen,
much
You
money
have
to
no
blow
control.
it.
listen,
Dude,
we're going to end this off because
Oh, hold on. Before we end, I gotta say something because Frankie said something that made me think. You said that by any means, the Bucks is gonna win. They're gonna find a way. If I'm Andy Reid before the game,
I ain't letting you find a way.
if I'm Andy Reid before that game, I am going to the refs.
Yep.
I'm saying check all them balls. Check every ball on that sideline.
Forget the
Bro,
balls.
I didn't worry about the balls, man. I'm just coming up with a check and say, you sign the number. You tell me. You tell me what I pay you.
What's he paying you? I'll double it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man. Look, the refs are like Tom Brady's wide receivers.
That's a fact.
They get him all the points.
Hey, that might be true, but it seems like they were only like that with the Patriots. I ain't seen no little scandalous.
Yeah, they wasn't
with
like
the Bucks.
I don't know. They've been letting teams kind of get after time in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
True.
I think that was just the Patriots.
He been crying like a motherfucker at 7th grade, man. He been crying.
You're like, man, I'm at the Patriots. I get this call all day. What's up?
They're like, grow the fuck up, the NFC.
That check didn't clear.
Your check bounce. Get your wife on it.
Well, yeah, hopefully it's a good game. By the way, NCAA football is coming back, guys. We're gonna get into that.
It's not NCAA. It's not NCAA. It's just college football by EA Sports.
College football. So
we're gonna get yourself a lawsuit.
But thank you for guys for being on here. Best of luck on your picks. Number 1, Dre.
Everybody be safe and stay safe.
Well, best believe.
We out.
3:25, motherfucker. Fucking kept me up past my bedtime. I gotta go put my baby back to sleep now. No, I'm joking.